Welcome, hello, hi everyone. Welcome to this MUSE event. It's May 27th, 2021, and this is an event with RCC, RCC MUSE, RCC Umoja, and CSUSB Palm Desert, along with La Sierra University's Roadrunner Review. We're going to get started. My sound is already messing up. I'm okay. All right. You can let me know if it does. Someone just sent me a message that it may not be working right. I'll try not. Hopefully, I don't sound like a robot. It can happen. We are live on Facebook. We should be live on YouTube. And we're just going to take a couple of minutes while people filter in and say hello. Thanks everyone for being here. We're getting a feedback that some of the sound is low and on YouTube, so maybe we can pump that up. I'm going to welcome one of our participants. And I'm going to ask you, Andrea, I'm pronouncing your name Andrea, is that right? So everyone can get to meet you while I meet you too. You can unmute yourself if you like. Hi. I love Zoom, don't you? I would like to tell you, Andrea, what I said to everybody else before we started, and I will say to everyone who is watching right now, I kind of love this about this experience. There aren't many things to enjoy about the pandemic having sprung us to the wind, and isolation and difficulty and pain for a lot of people. But I think sometimes we have to enjoy that we have been given this kind of an opportunity to interact with one another. And it's become very meaningful for me. This is now our second year of producing MUSE and MUSE events this way. I think we're approaching a dozen online venues, and more people see these than often could make it to live events. And there's also this weird, interesting energy where we're all kind of casual, and there's also all kinds of stuff going on. And this is my opportunity to remind everyone who's here that we are all coming to you from our homes or someplace like a home. So you may hear various sounds, and we appreciate your patience with that. It is likely that my dog will bark at some point. Maybe your dog will bark too, and then we can have a chorus. But we are excited to welcome all of you, and especially this group of editors, writers, and readers tonight for this really special event representing RCC, Cal State San Bernardino Palm Desert, and La Sierra University. And 3 separate journals plus RCC Umoja, RCC MUSE, Concrete Desert Review from Cal State, and the Roadrunner Review. So that being said, I think I'll go ahead and take this opportunity to start the proceedings. I want to say, does anyone have a question? But really what I want to know is, Andrea, are you there and okay? And if I
am here. I wasn't sure if you had muted me, so I didn't want to unmute it.
It's totally fine. Yes, we have a little bit of a mute in the Zoom, except for those people who are going to be reading. So welcome.
Okay.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. And we will look forward to hearing from you. Essentially, well, I guess we can all find out the order together. How's that?
Sure.
That seems reasonable, right? So in just a moment, I'm going to start sharing my screen. I'm going to set up for all of our lovely reader peoples. Here we go. And Andrea, it's okay that we're doing this sort of, we're organizing live. I'm okay with it. As I've said before, I kind of enjoy peeling back the curtain here, but you can just let me know which of the poems you'll do in which order. And then
Okay.
I will navigate to those. I'm going to be bringing up on the screen what each person is going to be reading. And I say, let's get started. What do you think?
Sure.
Brianna, you ready? All right, so I'm going to start by introducing our first reader. Our first reader is a nursing student from RCC who's planning on transferring this fall to Azusa Pacific. Brianna Brown will be reading passages from Octavia Butler's Parable of the Sower. Welcome, Brianna. You can, I think we lost you, or maybe we don't have you. Do we have you?
Thank you, Professor Ducat. As you said, I am going to be reading from Octavia Butler's Parable of the Sower. And the theme of these passages is change. All that you touch, you change. All that you change, changes you. The only lasting truth is change. God is change. When apparent stability disintegrates, as it must, God is change. Any change may bear seeds of benefit. Seek them out. Any change may bear seeds of harm. Beware. God is infinitely malleable. God is change. We are earth seed, the life that perceives itself changing. Kindness eases change. God is neither good nor evil, neither loving nor hating. God is path. God is change. We must find the rest of what we need within ourselves, in one another, in our destiny. Your teachers are all around you. All that you perceive, all that you experience, all that is given to you or taken away from you. Sorry. All that you love or hate, need or fear will teach you if you will learn. God is your first and your last teacher. God is your harshest teacher, subtle, demanding, learn or die. Create no images of God, except the images that God has provided. God is change. Seed to tree, tree to forest, rain to river, river to sea, grubs to bees, bees to swarm, for one many, from many one, forever uniting, growing, dissolving, forever changing. The universe is God's self-portrait. God is change, and in the end, God prevails. But there's hope in understanding the nature of God, not punishing or jealous, but infinitely malleable. There's comfort in realizing that everyone and everything yields to God. There's power in knowing that God can be focused, diverted, shaped by anyone at all. But there's no power in having strength and brains, and yet waiting for God to fix things for you or take revenge for you. God will shape us all every day of our lives, but to understand that and return the effort. Shape God. All that you touch, you change. All that you change,
So I'm going to bring us back, and I'm going to ask, who should I ask? Who wants to read the last one? Will someone give Brianna an assist? Brianna's back. Yay, read the last, unmute yourself and read the part from All That You Touch.
Are you talking to me, Andrea?
No, I was talking to
I'm
Brianna
back.
actually.
Okay.
So we'll let Brianna read just the last basically, stanza underneath the number one. That's about where we lost you. And have no fear, it's good.
Thank you.
It fits the theme.
Yes. All that you change changes you. Wait, I'm sorry. All that you touch, you change. All that you change changes you. The only lasting truth is change. God is change. Thank you.
Yay, thank you. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. That's wonderful. Yes, I do. I love it. Thank you. Okay. Our next reader is Cassandra Engel from Cal State San Bernardino Palm Desert's Concrete Desert Review, reading two poems. And let me switch to the speaker window. And whenever you're ready, you can join us, Cassandra.
Hello, everyone. I am a recent graduate from PDC, and I was on the editorial team for the Concrete Desert Review in its inaugural issue. I have two poems for you. The first one is The Flowers Say Hello. Everyone knows that flowers are the most jealous of creatures. You can see it in the way they crowd into unwanted space, in between the fingers of the concrete sidewalks, encroaching over cinder block walls and wrapping old houses in restricting arms and ballooning. Some call it beautiful, Mother Nature reclaiming what was once hers, but I see only jealousy, that she is not the only one anymore, that despite the growing weeds and the young blossoms, she reveals their true poison-slick colors underneath their green camouflage leaves. Despite all of that fruitless decorum, your attention falls only on me. And Mother Nature has produced her most beautiful blossoms and makes her great oak trees sway in the breeze and tries to gather your attention as best as she can with the green things. And yet, your eyes only meet my own. Your hand only reaches for my own, and I find myself blushing under the bougainvillea. I am not one of the pretty blossoms. I have not fought to garner your attention. I do not sway pretty in the breeze. And yet, it is I who have felt the soft imprint of your lips against my own. It is I who has beaten Mother Nature and made her green in envy. And it is I who wonders and wonders and wonders if I could ever see what you see in me that makes it all worth denying these fair and beautiful weed flowers for the dark browns of my eyes that you seem so fond to stare into. Jealous creatures are these flowers, my love. They will not take your betrayal lightly, though I cherish your every transgression with open arms. The second poem that I'm reading today is called There's a Popcorn Kernel Stuck in My Braces. They never tell you about the pain. They speak about the after effects, the stunning senior year picture under a name that's not yours, the selfie, the makeup on your emotions, a pretty smile for a pretty. They never tell you about the pain, about the wires that stab and poke into the tender pink flesh of the inside of my baby mouth, associated prior with the wayward thumbs, is now being held hostage by a man who says the metal is worth it, stabbing deeper and deeper into the sore flesh until You stick sticky wax over the offender and lay on the melted blue ice pack to sleep. They never tell you about the pain, the tension of smelling popcorn kernels shiny with oil and salt and butter fresh out of the microwave, and you can't have a single bite. It belongs on the list of 80 different foods that you can no longer even think about eating. No childhood summer dog days of bubblegum and saltwater taffy on beach bleach pier pillars. No things that go crunch, smack, bite, satisfaction of canines going feral. No popcorn, no popcorn. No matter how long your sister licks her oil fingers clean and the smell bleeds into the cracked leather couch, you stick another piece of wax around the wire. They never tell you about the pain of a metal frame smile. There is no one to tell you that you were beautiful in your chrysalis form. They cared too much about the butterfly effect, butter, oil, salt. No, you hide your smile around tender closed lips so often that they ask what's wrong when you're the only one not smiling in a group of future backstabbers, and you can't explain that you were happy the entire time. Or at least you trick yourself into thinking you were, just like you think you can trick the pain away with just a little bit of wax. They never tell you about the pain, that faint metallic taste in your mouth as metal grinds against metal, moving the white monolith into the position that they care not to be in. It's tender pain, soaring pain, can't sleep in the middle of the night pain because you woke up and you found yourself licking and nomming on the popcorn ceiling, saying that you could still smell the oil. That kind of pain, never, never. But they will tell you how beautiful that smile is. Oh, so beautiful. Thank you, everyone. And I would like to extend this thank you to the MUSE team for this invitation.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Yes, that was really awesome.
Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cassandra. Okay, our next reader is from RCC Umoja. She's Aminata Mansoure, and she'll be reading a piece of memoir, a story from her life. Welcome, Aminata Mansoure.
Thank you. Hello. I was born in a small country in the western part of Africa called Sierra Leone. We live in the northern province called Kenema, where my dad had a good paying job as managing director of a produce company. My family was well respected and admired and were considered an upper middle class family at the time, for I went to one of the best schools in the town. The war started in 1991 in a town called Bomaru. We did not understand it initially, so we thought it would just pass. Never did we think it would last for so many years to come. We heard of people dying, houses burnt to the ground, and some fled to neighboring towns and villages. Not too long, we started to see our family members who lived in various parts of the country ran from their homes. Ran from their homes and came to ours for safety. It was then my parents began to understand the severity of the war. Day news came that the rebels were planning to attack Kenema, the town where we lived. My family packed everything we could take and fled to the capital city of Freetown. The city was safe for a while other parts of the country were at war. My dad got a new job working for the bank. Every family member that lived in other parts of the country had come to live with us. And everyone, I'm sorry,
It's okay.
I have a 3-year-old that it's just
it's totally natural, and I think it's kind of wonderful in a way. I think so.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
Okay. Where was I?
I think everyone came to live with us.
Okay.
Well, in the other parts, every family member in other parts had come to live.
Every family member who lived in other various parts of the country ran from their homes and came to us for our safety. Was that where I stopped?
I think maybe a little higher up.
Yeah, I got it. Every
Okay, good.
family member that lived in other parts of the country had come to live with us, and everyone was surviving on the small salary my dad earned from working in the bank. That became a challenge. He was not earning enough to feed or take care of everyone's needs in the house. So everybody has to do had to make do with what's available or fend for themselves. Gradually, everyone settled down, found jobs, and moved away. My dad got promoted to head a bank in the city, where we came from. He, where we came from in Kenema, and he went there alone, leaving us in the city. He traveled back and forth to see us at least every month. One day, his colleague called to tell my mom that my father has been seriously sick and that she should come to Kenema to take care of him. My mother immediately called an uncle to look after us while she went to take care of my father. A day after she left, the rebels took over the city. We had to run for our dear lives. There were fishing boats that someone had told us were being used to repatriate people to the neighboring country, Guinea. The city was on fire, but we somehow managed to dodge bullets to get to the boat that took us halfway across. We used bush paths to get to the boats. These paths will give us cover so we will not get caught and killed by the rebels. We were on the bush, we were on that bush path running, hiding and dodging bullets and RPGs when suddenly we got caught by the rebels. They lined us all up, my siblings, my uncle and his family. They told us to say our prayers because this will be the last time we will see each other because they were going to gun us all down. In a firing squad formation, they lined us up and pointed their guns when one of, oh God. Can I pause for a little bit and get my baby out?
You can do whatever you want to do. Yes, you can pause, you can keep going. I can tell you right now, it is not bothering. I don't think it's bothering anyone. It's totally, but it's up to you.
I'm losing focus.
Okay.
While he's doing that.
That is fine. You can
Let me
do
just
do what feels right to you, and we can go from there. We can come back. Okay, so I'm going to take this opportunity to take a pause. We're all going to pause. I think there's something beautiful about that juxtaposition of danger to life, and there's something really meaningful. It's making me a little emotional. All right. Andrea, would you be okay if we went and maybe read a poem and then came back? Would that be okay?
Sure.
Okay, pick
I'd
one.
love
Which
to.
one? Which one?
I'm
Which
not,
one?
you know, I'm not able to engage my video.
You want? Oh, that's
do you
okay.
Do you
I'm
have it
back.
locked?
Do I
Hello?
have? Are you back?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Wait, Aminata's back. Yay. Okay.
I'm sorry, guys.
No. Don't be sorry. Seriously, don't be sorry. Thank you, Andrea. We were just going to go do a poem and wait and reconvene, but we're fine. As I said to everyone else, it's a beautiful thing to see the life that contrasts with death, right? Or possible death. It's beautiful. So thank you for sharing.
Okay. So I will just continue from where I stopped.
Yes.
Okay. We were on that bush path, running, hiding, dodging bullets and RPGs, when suddenly we got caught by the rebels. They lined us all up, my siblings, my uncle, and his family. They told us to say our prayers because this will be the last time we see each other. because they were going to gun us all down. In a firing squad formation, they lined us up and pointed their guns when one of the rebels decided to ask my uncle his name. He told him, "My name is Kalilu Jabi." The rebels were shocked and asked him again, "Are you related to a man called Almami Jabi that lives in Kenema, that works at NAPCO?" My uncle said, "Yes, he is my elder brother. These are his children," pointing at us. As they As they were talking, I saw my life flash before me. I prayed to God to get me into heaven because this was it. So the rebels then asked, "What? Is this little Aminata?" Then he proceeded to call our names, me and my siblings. He then told his squaddies to please let us go. He said, "It is because of their father that I can read and write." Apparently, my father had taken him under his wing when he lost his parents and became homeless. My father sheltered him, fed him, and paid his school fees. So he felt that one good deed deserves another. Therefore, he will let us leave. He escorted us up to where the rebel line was and asked us to say hello to our parents. That is how we escaped death. When people saw us, they could not believe that we survived that part because anybody who dared to pass through that area will not come out alive. It was all rebel territory. That is why I always do good to people I don't know. It doesn't matter what color or race they are. I will take the clothes off my back and give to them because you never know what will happen in the future. That's all.
Thank you very much.
Great job, Aminata.
Thank you. That was wonderful, 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 wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. Now I got to compose myself. Oof, woo. I'm not even kidding.
Beautiful ending.
Yes, it's beautiful. So Andrea, just tell me which poem I've got. What if God is a metaphor? I've got rain on, and I've got in all sacred words.
I can start in the exact order that you just named them.
Perfect. Okay. Let me introduce you. Andrea Yuck is from, am I pronouncing your last name correctly?
No, it's
Josh?
Juke.
It's Juke. Okay. Third time is a charm. Andrea Juke is from La Sierra's Roadrunner Review, and she'll be reading 3 poems from their latest issue. Here we go. This I'm actually navigating to the website for the Roadrunner Review, and it's a really beautiful site, I just want to say. So
It is.
let's start here.
Okay. What if God is a metaphor for longing? A song is trying to escape my throat, and I am holding my hands to my neck to stop it from escaping. It is funny how the thin line between death and escape can be. Like my father, I too want everything my hands are too small to hold. A crow calls me from my father's yard, telling me to sing, to fly, to reach for all the things I am meant to not have. I asked a friend why the idea of dying dances around on his tongue. He said, "No, I do not want to die. I want to be dead." And this little bit of paradox left me with some questions that my head was willing to hold. Somewhere within my bones, an odd song is blaring, and I do not know how to stop the song without damaging myself. Dear God, I did not ask to be a jukebox. Dear God, I did not ask for the song. My father said if ever the song gets too loud and start drowning me, I should close my eyes and pretend this too is one of God's mighty plans. If this too is one of God's mighty plans. Right now, I am closing my eyes. Right now, my eyes are tightly shut.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're
I'm
welcome.
gonna switch to the next poem.
Okay. This one happens to be one of my favorites, actually. So I'll be reading Rain On. A tent to wake up unstartled and easy, a leaf in the river, your breath current pulling you into your parents' side, morning light softly filtered green through the tent's thin veil that allows moisture in along with the smell of the neighbor's coffee, pavement, the hiss and whisper of collapse with the laugh and screams of children. As the rest of the class races inside, you move against the current to embrace the ambiguity of a recess not yet canceled. In your eyes, everything is still possible. The sky cannot fall fast enough to trap your feet in place, so you are running before graduation can catch you. The roof, the shingles sing every time their fingers collide with the rain, a symphony washing over my skull and an ache for a love I'd never had. What yearning, the beauty of human hands waiting for downpour to return, to reassure it that the wind screams just like us, just as startled to see us pass, unable to be stopped. So keep going. Come back to me. Fall onto me as a buzz in my brain and melting amber evening light. Tell me you need me. You who never die. Tell me you knew music. You never knew music until you felt my touch.
Thank you, Andrea. We had a request to read the bios, so I'm going to go back if you don't mind.
Sure.
And if you, I'll either you can read or I can read. It's up to you.
Okay. Sure, I can read it. Do you want me to start with this one?
Yes, yeah. Well, and then we'll come back to the previous. So
Okay.
this was the first poem, which was called "What If God Is a Metaphor for Longing" by Ani Mashan Amin.
Okay. Ani Mashan Amin is a Nigerian poet and essayist. His writings are mostly centered on memory, sexuality, and identity. His works have appeared forthcoming in the Drinking Gourd, Stone of Madness Press, Pre-Happened Magazine, Egro Gospel, and elsewhere. He lives and writes from Lagos, Nigeria, an oddball, a butterfly, he tweets.
Right, and let's take a look at the last poem that you read, "Rain On," from Sabrina Almeida, and we can take a look at her.
Okay. Sabrina Almeida is a 21-year-old poet from Toronto, Ontario, where she studies management at the University of Toronto. Her poetry is featured in publications such as Acta Victoriana, the UC Review, and Wandering Autumn magazine, among others. You can find her on YouTube at Sabrina Almeida and on Instagram at sabrina.almeida poetry.
Excellent, thank you. And let's the final piece by Tam Nguyen in All Sacred Words.
Okay. And all sacred words. And all sacred words I hear, a chance. When you say you are lucky to be here and not a miscarriage, meaning I had brothers and sisters before me, whose names I never get to know. But what I do know, we came out of the same womb and I was alive. You pray every night. I listen to all of it. There must be too many died before us that you decide to just group them as Ong Ba and Dot 2. You leave out the dead children. Mother, do you see it? You ask for blessings from ones we have forgotten, and still you close your eyes as if not seeing would help. Mother, kneeling is what we do to pray, but also what we do before surrender. I kneeled and almost surrendered the life you gave me, which as a fetus, I couldn't speak and was surrounded by water. How I felt trying to pick the words for homosexual and your son, how they always circle back to my name, only found by ranshacking a drawer I left on my verses, burning as if in today's ash rises a tomorrow you'd find my poems like songs heard by pressing a forehead onto another forehead, and that our eyes closing means I'm ready to give you one more chance. I'm ready to give you one more chance to be born and not sacred. Tam Nguyen is a Vietnamese poet, multimedia artist, born and raised on the south end of Vietnam. He's currently an undergraduate in arts and history at Fulbright University, Vietnam. His works appeared in Art Forthcoming on Heavy Feather Review, Soft Blow, Quail Bell Magazine, and elsewhere. And I'd like to thank you, Professor Ducat, for this opportunity to read with everyone who's reading here today on this panel. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Andrea. Andrea Juke, reading from La Sierra's Roadrunner Review, some beautiful, beautiful poems. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm going to take this opportunity to, before I bring on Sherry, I'm going to reveal our cover for MUSE 2021. And first of all, you can see the original artwork back here on the piano, but it's kind of small. So not small, but it's in a, I don't know, it's in the background, and I'm not going to pull it forward. What I will do is I'm going to click like this and go, bam.
Beautiful.
Now you should be able to see it, I hope.
Oh my God, that's really beautiful.
Thank you very much. The artist is Naomi Mehta. She's here in the chat. And
I can't see it, Professor.
You what? What's that?
I can't see it.
No?
No, I don't know where am I.
It should be here. I hope it's here. Here it is. Woo, 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 woo.
Oh, okay.
All right. So yay. I hope you we'll be having a launch in 2 weeks on the 11th. That's Friday. And pre-orders are available now, but we will have a distribution probably that same weekend. And so we hope you will support MUSE and get your copy. So allow me now.
I have a quick question, please.
Yes.
So you guys you're launching a magazine in 2 weeks online?
No, we're launching, we make a physical print copy, and
okay.
And you can actually see, I suppose I should, you can see the last 8 years of covers for the book. Oh, and there's Sherry's holding up her copy of last year's book. And so we print, we do print only. We don't have an online version. And it's 5x8, perfect bound, beautiful book that we're really excited to be presenting. So thank you for asking, because I bet you other people had that same question.
And where do you order?
So you can, that's a good question too. You can send, really well done, everyone. You guys are doing a good job of backing me up here. you can email us at muse@rcc.edu, muse@rcc.edu. And you can also Venmo, except I don't know exactly what the price is going to be, but it's probably going to be $10 pre-order. Let's say it, $10 pre-order. There it is. Not including postage. $10 pre-order. And if you go to Venmo at RCC Muse and just put in the memo, you put for Muse 2021, you can do that. If you'd just like to make a donation to Muse, you can do so in that same place. And if you do that today, if you make a donation today, I can get your name in the book recognizing you as a donor. So I'm saying that for all of the people out there in all the social media lands. So you can write me at muse@rcc.edu and I can give you more information. Or you can just go to Venmo $10, and put for Muse 2021 in the comment, and we will put you on the pre-order list. So there. Thank you for asking, Brianna. And Andrea, thank you very much. That was very helpful.
No problem.
Only Venmo, you don't have Zelle?
We don't have Zelle, unfortunately. Sorry.
Okay.
You could, yeah, I know, but we do have Venmo. That was a big thing for us. At some point, we may even have credit cards.
Okay.
Okay, I am going to now welcome a former editor, a Muse alum, and current head editor at Curious Publishing, and a contributor to last year's Muse, Sherry Mae Jackson. Hi, Sherry.
Hello, everyone. Hi. Speaking of last year's cover, this is done by Mariah Green, who is in the Zoom call with us all. But I was not only an editor for this issue, but I did have a story published with it too. I'm reading this story because I honestly haven't read it in a while, and I kind of want to go back to it. But the story is You're Living All Over Me. When Frankie Ramos threw a basketball at my face in the 4th grade, I learned what tenderness was. No one had told me it was supposed to feel like a kiss when the blood rushed to color my face from the impact. The burn of the pavement was still hot on the basketball. My nose shot up in shock, and my eyes burned, and I wanted my mom. I would have lain splatted flat on that scorching August asphalt for hours if everyone had just let me. Lying on the floor, I heard, "Oh shit," and a messy half circle of 4th graders formed around me. Some of the girls were looking at me like they had something to tell me, or maybe they just were pretending like they had an answer. I might understand subject and verb agreement and how to do a cartwheel and how to write a G in cursive, but I couldn't understand this. A dozen pairs of little girl hands competed for a spot on my back, shoulder, and cheeks. I wanted to curl my arms around myself, but no one left me any room. My cheeks were burning so red I could no longer tell if it was from the impact of the basketball or from how much I wanted to die. Why would he do that? I asked through snot bubbles and staggered breaths. Oh, it's because he likes you. I still use this as a tool of measurement. This is a confession. That same year, someone gave me a diary and a pen. It was that or Polly Pockets. Fate or some salesman or fate in the vessel of a salesman told my mother, "Go with the kitty." It was a Hello Kitty diary, her cherub kitty face printed on the bottom corner of every page. But forget the Hello Kitty part. This thing came with a key and a lock pad. This was paper that made room for agency. This was paper that would keep every secret and record every fleeting thought. I'm not sure my mom knew what she had done. This is another confession. I got really scared that year, and I've been scared ever since. It arrived in the form of a fear. Someone might have gifted it. Maybe it was my mom. Maybe it was a salesman, or maybe this fear walked right up to me and decided to stay all on its own. But, and listen to me, I had a fear crawl inside my ear one day and whisper, "You will not remember everything that has ever happened to you. Life will pass and you will not remember it." The fear did not subside, and I still had to face it. Losing your memory is a side effect of being alive, and holding a pen to paper was the only way I ever learned how to fight. There's nothing as comforting as blackening pages with all of eternity staring you down. You become a writer this way. I started writing into journals with the same kind of mania one has when they've either lost everyone they love or have never lost anyone they love. A wave of content nausea ensued. Catholic school, plaid skirts, bloody knees, Bloody Mary, Frankie Ramos, basketball, pranks on boys. Learning that's called flirting with boys. Is this what tenderness looks like? Freddie Mercury, my mom, hot asphalt tearing delicate skin. It's all too much. Freddie Mercury, are you listening? Who are you when you're not Freddie Mercury? Who are you when you're without your stage? I want to know what was going through your head when you first cried out mama to the first notes of Bohemian Rhapsody. If I could understand you, I think I'd be free. I first met you on a DVD of you performing in that white tank top at Live Aid, and I always cry when you get to Radio Gaga. I think it happens when the song closes with "Someone Still Loves You." If it wasn't Frankie Ramos, who was it that taught you what tenderness was? Did you find it in a Hello Kitty diary? Could I call you my friend? Am I allowed? Arise on earth once again, Freddie, in the confines of these blackened pages. Are you listening? Freddie, I cried, locked in my bathroom in the 4th grade when I learned that you were dead all this time. The surface of the bathroom tile cooled my face, but could never warm me.
Thank you.
Man, that's heavy. Dang.
Beautiful.
And this poem I wrote this morning. I told everyone that I'm going to be reading a new poem tonight, so I made a new poem for tonight. It is fresh, made at 3 p.m. And the title is A Poem That's Aware of Itself, a poet who's aware of her mortality, a poem if you'll let it happen, something to be heard if you'll just shut the fuck up and listen for it. Maybe I had to be made empty so I could be able to receive. And these are stolen words, I confess, made my own by reorganizing their order. The first to do it was page 39 of Beautiful Losers, which begins as follows. Let me testify. Let me prove order. Let me cast a shadow. Please make me empty. If I'm empty, then I can receive. If I can receive, it means it comes from somewhere outside of me. If it comes from outside of me, I'm not alone. Anyway, I say that. I had to be made empty in order to be able to receive, because tonight, friends, I opened up Ocean Vuong's Night Sky with Exit Wounds. And this time, the first page's imagery hit me like a brick, as in the words on the page put me exactly where Ocean Vuong wanted me. In stark contrast against when I first picked this book up in San Francisco 2 months ago. And I was too starry-eyed by everything, every place, and everyone that I had to read that first page 5 times over just to get a good look. This is a diagnosis of a clearer head, of being made empty in order to receive. And what is poetry but evidence of a life that is on fire? Evidence that I saw this, I felt this, I did this was done to me, and the earth rotated a little differently off its axis, and I didn't cry this time. Woo. Yeah, that's the newest baby. And this last one is just a poem I sent to a friend who lives in Portland. I traced my hand because I miss her and I wanted her to place her hand on there so we could be together. And it goes, place your hand here so we can pretend we're holding hands. We're young, we're alive, so hold my hand, even if it's just a fantasy. But yes, thank you guys.
Good. That was good.
Thanks.
Very good.
I know, huh? That
You got
is-
to have us in tears, girl.
I'm trying to have us all cry. What the heck?
So good.
Wow. Yeah. Woo, woo. Are we supposed to snap? No, we're supposed to clap, snap,
Thank you.
flap.
And clap.
We're supposed to sing Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, we really are, aren't we? I thought it was going to be can anybody.
How often do you host these readings?
So we've done an average of 3 to 5 of them per semester in the last several semesters.
Okay.
They're I like we've been extraordinarily blessed to have wonderful people join us from a lot of different places. We very much like to embrace the idea of our community and how we can help represent the voices in our community. And so yeah, so we do that. Sometimes we'll have we'll bring in featured writers, but I feel like a lot of what we do is exactly what happens here, which is really wonderful.
Oh, I can't hear you.
Gotta go away.
I didn't hear anything you just said. I'm imagining that you said that you also accept, do you accept pieces that have not been published as well?
So when we do readings, can you hear me? Am I
I
alive?
can hear you.
Okay. All right. So for these kind of readings, we generally curate these, and that is to say that the editors and sometimes a group of other folks will figure out a nice blend of people that can come together. When we do that, sometimes we will have a segment that goes with it. That's like, for example, at the end of the launch, we'll have an open mic session. So 2 weeks from tomorrow, after we have contributors read, we'll have a little sign up for people who can read then. So we do have people, and you can read whatever you like. I should probably, I put it in the chat here on Zoom, but I realized that I should probably do this. So I'm going to. These were the readers. These are tonight's readers. And what I'm going to do at the bottom of this, hold on. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. I'm going to open it so you can see it in Google Docs. At the end here, I'm going to do a couple of things. First of all, we're on IG at RCC Muse. Whoops, I should spell that correctly. Wait, what? I love when things kind of, let me try, how about if I do that? I'll make a space. You can also Venmo us at the same thing, RCC Muse, all together, by the way. I don't know why that made two separate spaces. You can look on IG for updated stuff. That's where we update most frequently. The only reason that tonight wasn't live on Instagram is because you can't get enough of these faces onto an Instagram feed. It's only 1 or 2 faces. So we left Instagram out, but that's, we update frequently at Instagram. And June 11th will be our launch.
Okay.
And you can pre-order for $10, either muse at rcc.edu or Venmo. And I guess what I'm saying is, if you don't have Venmo, you can email me and we can figure out another way for you to be able to do that.
Okay. I'd
Right.
really like to be on your list for readers in the future, because I have a lot of original pieces that I'd love to read.
And this is an open share to everyone in the Zoom here and watching us on Facebook Live and watching us on YouTube Live to say, yes, please share with us. We would love to have you. All right.
Awesome.
So that is our event for this evening. I want to say thank you to all of our readers. Brianna, Cassandra, Aminata, are you here? There you are. Andrea, and of course, Sherry. I would also like to thank, I always have to thank our co-advisory editor, Professor Joe Scott Coe, who is always supportive behind the scenes and been super valuable in helping me. And for tonight's event, I need to thank Professor Star Taylor, who is the coordinator for Umoja and put us in touch with Brianna and Aminata. And we were so thankful to have you here. It was wonderful to have your voices, and thank you very much. I really need to thank Professor Gina Hansen from Cal State San Bernardino as well. Oh wait, hold on. Let's give everybody a round of applause. Let's start back at Joe. Joe Scott Coe. Woo! Professor Star Taylor. Yes.
Yes, I love her.
Yes, thank you, Professor Taylor.
And Professor Hanson, Gina Hanson, you all may not know her that well. Professor Hanson built the Concrete Desert Review. She made it happen, and it's a really great, wonderful thing. Check them out. They're on Facebook as well. Roadrunner Review is obviously online. Take a look for them. And thank you all. Thanks for coming. And Aminata, thank your kids for making that. I'm not even kidding. That connection of look at what comes, right? It's like the beauty and the joy of your life was
Oh,
produced in that moment.
yeah.
It's,
And
it was
and I had warned them, like, please stay away. I'm about to do my presentation. Like, okay, you wait till you start, and then we'll come over there and start.
it was perfect. All right. Thank you all. Love
Thank
to
you
you
so
all.
much for having me.
Have a nice evening.
Thank you. And
Bye.
hope to see you again.
Okay,
All right.
Take
bye.
care.
Bye.
And
Thank
good
you.
night.